Today we'll be rebuilding the Cincinnati Bengals in Madden 26. Joe Burrow says this is the most talented roster he's ever been on since being on the Bengals, so let's go ahead and see how they can do in Madden and how we can make them better. But before we get into today's video, YouTube does tell me about 83% of the people that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed, so if you do fall in that 83% and want to change that, that'd be greatly appreciated. I feel like there's never been this amount of pressure on the Bengals to be good this season. They have just been a team that has not been able to make the playoffs, and they've been disappointing. Of course, Joe Burrow has missed some time, but he claims that this is the most talented roster he has been on. So we're about to find out if this team made the playoffs. They get off to rough starts and then they try to turn things around. They have obviously brought in Dexter Lawrence, Brian Cook. They brought in Jonathan Allen. So they brought in quite a bit of brought in quite a bit of veterans to, and then of course they signed Boy Mafe to a big deal as well. So yeah, there really is no excuses here for Cincinnati anymore. They need to make the playoffs. There's a lot of pressure on this team to be successful. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and simulate year number 1. Obviously in Madden, the Bengals are usually pretty good, so I don't think we'll have a problem today, but I'm curious to see how good this Bengals team can actually be according to Madden. So we're going to go ahead and simulate year 1 without us touching anything. Playbook, schemes, all stay the same under Zach Taylor, which I would argue that Zach Taylor probably should have been fired a couple years in a row now. His game management sometimes is just absolutely dreadful. But regardless, I will see you guys at the end of year number 1. And at the end of year number 1, would you look at that? We finished up at 6-11 and missed the playoffs, which is kind of honestly surprising. I would say the Bills went 16-1, which is kind of insane. But let's look at the player stats. So wow, offensively, we're 22nd in the NFL. Usually, Bengals playbook is pretty. Joe Burrow must have gotten hurt. He had to have gotten hurt, right? He only had 2,200 yards or something like that. Usually, Bengals playbook is giving you 5,000 yards minimum. If he played full 17 games, I'm a little concerned here. So, yeah, he didn't for sure. It makes sense now. So, Joe Burrow 22-7, but that's been a thing with Joe Burrow. He has had trouble staying on the field. Obviously super talented, but that has been the thing that's kind of, yeah, he missed 4 games, which I guess isn't that crazy, but I mean, yeah, his record probably wasn't that good. I don't know. I guess it depends when he missed the games. But Flacco came in as the backup with 4-4. You had 480 yards and 4 touchdowns from Chase Brown. But your Chauvas, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase, you know, they all did, I guess, okay. And then defensively, we had 10 sacks from Dexter Lawrence. This is good. 9.5 from Allen, 8.5 from Boy Mafe. But all in all, this obviously was a disappointing season, which I was afraid of, and that is exactly what has went down. So, without further ado, let's get to the offseason. I thought we'd make the playoffs pretty easily in year 1, but boy, was I wrong. So the Falcons actually ended up representing the NFC in the playoffs, which is kind of wild, or I guess in the Super Bowl, I should say. But yeah, Bo Nix and the Broncos got it done this year. My allergies are killing me, so I apologize if I sound like crap. But Josh Allen is your MVP. Vrabel is your coach of the year. Puka Nacua, offensive player. Nwosu is your DPOY. Fernando Mendoza and CJ Allen are your rookies of the year. But we have $16 million in cap space apparently, so not a lot to work with. So let's see who is all a free agent. 23 players to talk to. So we have DJ Turner, Dax Hill, Jordan Battle, Chase Brown, Kyle Duggar, Miles Murphy. There's quite a bit of guys I'll be walking that started for us last year based off, you know, how much money we have right now. So is there a way to free up money is the question. We're about to find out. So we have T. Higgins, which obviously we're not going to cut him or anything. Boy Mafe, Gesicki, Dexter Lawrence. I guess the only thing to do here is restructure. And if I restructure Jamar Chase, that frees up $15 million. So I guess we'll be restructuring pretty early in this video, which I was not anticipating. But T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, I guess we're going to restructure both of them and try to go re-sign, you know, a couple of these guys. So let's start with the corners. Like DJ Turner, 26, already up to an 84. Would like to keep him if possible. He says no. Okay, so I guess we missed out on him. But Dax Hill, I think would be a fine keep as well. If we can get him back, at least we do. So we'll keep Dax Hill. And anybody else that stuck out, Turner said no to us. Chase Brown, I mean, I think he's a pretty talented running back. It sucks he's only normal dev here in Madden, but I still want to keep him. And he is going to stick around. I think he's perfect for what the Bengals need at the backfield anyway. Kyle Duggar's up to superstar dev, but he is older, so I think I'll let him go. And then Yeshovas, I think we can do better there as well. So, yeah, I'll let the rest of these guys go. So, only $24 million to spend, so we're probably not going to be big players in free agency. More than likely, we're going to have to really just kill it in the draft. I guess the good news is that our 4th round pick from last year is up to superstar dev according to this roster creator, which, as you guys know, if you want to check out the roster I use in these videos, it is listed down in the description below. But obviously the offense is looking as good as it can. I'm still content with it, obviously. Probably could use the right guard, which we'll find. defensively, you know, Demetrius not up to superstar dev is super helpful, and Boy Mafe is up to superstar dev, and Lawrence is up to X Factor. I think he was only superstar, so that's good. We brought in one corner, but yeah, secondary remains the problem. And then what position is he actually? He's going to be will linebacker. Okay, so we need to bring in plenty of talent on defense. I think that's the main concern. In fact, I'd be fine with just limping in with the right guard we have if we need to, because defensively, which has always been the Bengals' problem, at least the D line's looking somewhat decent. I can get by with that, I think. But secondary and linebackers definitely could use some addressing, especially, I guess, one linebacker, because Carter and Knight is fine enough. We can get by with that. But other than that, we definitely need to bring in some other things here. So I guess the only thing I'm going to go for here, because we don't have a lot of money, is I'm just going to try to resign DJ Turner. He's probably going to be the best corner we could bring in at 26 years old, already 84 overall, and he will choose to come back. So we're going to have to just nail our draft, man. We really are. So if we take a look at it and we look at what we got going on here, so we have number 7 overall, which should be helpful, but more than likely you'll see me go all in on the defense in the draft. So let's try to go do that, do as much as we can. I know in previous simulations, the Bengals have drafted Jeremiah Smith for whatever reason. It makes literally no sense. But yeah, we're going to definitely try to kill it in this draft. We're going to need a new strong safety. We're going to need a new linebacker if possible as well. We're going to have to just get by with the guard we have. And then probably another corner, although obviously adding DJ Turner is going to be helpful. I think we could pass on corner if there's not a guy to take, but we'll just see what's on the board. But defensively, I mean, everything defensively is on the table. We can even take a lineman as well, or an edge rusher. That's also something we could do as well. So with the 7th pick, I'm actually tempted to trade down, because we could take David Stone, but, you know, as I mentioned, we could take a D tackle and feel good about it, which he does look really good, don't get me wrong, because Jonathan Allen's going to be gone after the season. But I'm also looking at Terry Moore, and then there's KJ Bolden still on the board as well. I think I want to trade down instead and pick up an extra pick in this draft if we can. So let's see if we can trade down in this draft and still get another pick. So we need to find a 26 first round. Okay, then we get some draft picks next year. We trade down 13 spots, pick up some extra draft picks next year. Ideally 36, that's a little too far down the board. Let's see, 21, and so no one's offered me. I guess this one is we get an extra third and we move down 10 spots from the Dolphins, and we get an extra third out of it. You know what, I'll do it. Let's do it. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna pick up an extra third round pick in this draft, and I probably should have went with but basically I'm hoping one of those safeties falls to me, and both of them have. Could trade down again because both of them are still on the board. But I think I'll just take KJ Bolden here and not think twice. So KJ Bolden, going to be an elite pick to take here. Trade down and pick up an extra draft pick to do it. So KJ Bolden is going to address that big hole that we have at the safety position right now. So very happy with that first pick. And I'm taking Quay Rusaw because I did say that we needed a new linebacker, so we bring one in here, someone who has elite speed, and he's going to be 86 to true value. Got him at 39, but definitely going to be a welcomed addition at that linebacker spot, so very happy with that pick. And obviously, we now have 2 third-rounders as well to utilize, so in middle of the pack third-rounder as well, which is good. So OJ Frederick Jr. drawing. Oh, if one of these guys have hidden dev, I think we got to take him. But yeah, OJ Frederick Jr. is a no-brainer to me, so we're going to take him here. 74 true value, got him at 71, so welcome to the Bengals. I think that's a home run so far. We are killing this draft in my mind, so I'm really liking how things are going. Bryce Young would have been nice too. A couple edge rushers on the board. Let's see if we like either one. And I'm going to take Kenyatta Jackson Jr. here. So welcome to the Bengals. 66 true value, got him at 81. So all in all, I think we absolutely killed that draft as far as adding some more talent on this defense. Very happy with how it went down. But let's take the look, or let's let the AI take care of the rest, and let's see how we did with the draft recap. But I'm very excited about how that draft went. So 78 overall in the first round, which is pretty good. 73, Quay Rusaw, 74, 74, 72. So all of these guys could probably be involved right away, which is just fantastic. So absolutely killed this draft. Loved what we did. Let's go take a look at it all together. Obviously, we'll have to move KJ Bolden over, or one of our, or Brian Cook could be moved over as well, depending on what we want to do. But let's take a look at it. So we don't really improve on the guard spot, which again is fine. We'll just get by with it. Defensively, KJ Bolden now starting at strong safety, which is fine by me. And then OJ Frederick is added. Quay Rusaw is added. So really love. And then Jackson's on the bench here. So, and then Cassius Howell, not to mention as well. But yeah, very good stuff. I'm going to move Frederick at that third corner spot. In fact, who's playing slot corner? Slot corner is going to be Frederick Jr., so that's fine with me. And then offensively, as far as slot wide receiver, I'm sure that's going to somebody of importance. Like, okay, slot wide receiver is going to be Luke Graham, I guess. Okay, sure, why not? And then Gesicki at tight end. And then defensively, the only thing I need to figure out, do I just move KJ Bolden to strong safety, or do I move... I'm going to move Brian Cook over there because I feel like KJ Bolden, you know, Well, Brian Cook would probably go up. KJ Bolden could be, you know, his 70 overall at free safety. So we'll do that. And I will see you guys in the regular season. Actually, I'll see you guys at the end of year 2 because I really like what we were able to accomplish in this offseason, bringing in a lot of talent on defense. I'm going to believe, well, I'm curious, should I be changing the playbooks already in this video or should we kind of stand pat for now? So if we look at it, we have, you know, offensively, we were disappointing last year, but we know Joe Burrow missed some time. So we'll just try to hang it on that. Defensively, the only thing I could think to do is if we did change it, we could go to like, I don't know, is there like, can we run Seattle's or something, I guess, in this next season, just kind of see? Would 3-4 be better as well? I mean, it's kind of the same thing. I guess we could run it. Why not? Let's just try to change things up and see if we could be better on defense because obviously we've been disappointing there. Although it probably is better. Actually, I'm okay with it. Yeah, we'll run that. Obviously, we have plenty of depth at linebacker to pull it off. So, Clay Rousseau, I guess, doesn't get involved this year, but he's on the bench for now. All right, let's get the regular season. Let's see if year 2 will treat us better. Year 1 was such a disappointment. Year 2 should be better in theory. Well, it went better, but it looks like, unless if we got the first seed at 10-7, which more than likely we didn't, this more than likely was just a good AFC, and we missed the playoffs entirely, which kind of sucks, and it was. So, yeah, 10-7 did not get you in. The 11 seed was 11-6, so it was just a stacked AFC. That kind of season, unfortunately, nothing that really can be done about that. It looks like Joe Burrow probably played all 17 this time around, so we have just been very unlucky so far. So offensively, 5th in NFL, which is obviously not too surprising, and then defensively, we were 19th in NFL. So I guess a little improvement over there, but 29-9 from Joe Burrow. Chase Brown with 14 touchdowns, which is nice to see at least. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Luke Grimm was pretty good. 400 from Gesicki, 200 from Chase Brown in the air, and then sacks-wise, you had 8.5 from Dexter Lawrence, 7 from Quay Rousseau, and then 6.5 from Boy Mafe, 6 from Shamar Stewart. Interceptions, 3 from Cook, 2 from KJ Bolden. But yeah, obviously, once again, now while we did go 10-7, and usually that probably gets you in the playoffs, this year it did not. So yeah, we're obviously disappointed. And I would have to imagine that if the Bengals miss the playoff 2 years in a row from today, obviously, going into this next season, if they miss the playoff 2 years in a row, something drastic would really happen. Like, I could see Joe Burrow requesting a trade. Obviously, Zach Taylor's probably fired by then, and yeah, it would be kind of a mess. So the Bengals need to make the playoffs. But the Chargers beat the Bears in the Super Bowl. You got Josh Allen, Vrabel. We don't unfortunately have any defensive rookie this year, defensive rookies of the year, even after drafting all those rookie or defensive rookies. But yeah, did not go in our favor. I doubt we have any retirements that are of significance, but I guess Jonathan Allen retiring, that was a starter for us technically. So yeah, I guess there's that. But all right, we have how much money? Negative $5 million. I know Dexter Lawrence, I believe, is a free agent, so that's kind of a big one. Or no, he's not, I guess. Never mind. Okay, so he's still actually okay, still employed. So Mims obviously is our right tackle, but I mean, we could do better. Chris Jenkins, losing him is kind of tough, but at the end of the day, we don't have the money. So negative $5 million. We're gonna have to restructure contracts again, probably. So let's go see what could be done, or if there's anybody to cut. That's pretty obvious. Let's see. So you got T. Higgins, 1 year remaining. Joe Burrow, we can restructure and make $17 million there. Lawrence has 1 year left. Jamar Chase, we could free up 15. I guess that's probably the best thing to do because at this point, we want to bring in as much talent as possible. So that gives us $27 million to probably at least sign one free agent. I can let Chris Jenkins, should I re-sign him? We have Lawrence, Elijah Chapman, Miko. I feel like we could draft somebody. So I'm just going to let him go and we'll try to do better there. So let's go with our $27 million, and we're going to try to bring in at least one impactful free agent here with our $28 million to be exact, but let's see what we still have going on here. So we lose our tight end, which makes sense. We need a center, or we need a guard and a tackle, so the offensive line needs to be addressed. Other than that, tight end and offensive line is all we need on offense. Defensively, level out of what we brought in, and obviously, Demetrius Knight is sitting on the bench now, which is kind of funny, but obviously we want to change that. And he must be listed at something. I don't know. He must be starting at Sam linebacker or something. But, okay, so this is what things look like. But maybe we should change it back to what we had it as. But, you know, and then I guess that edge rusher we drafted starting now. So, Shamar Stewart, a little bit less than him. But, yeah, I guess we'll go back to a 4-3 because that'll put all of our linebackers in. That's probably what we should have kept anyway. So, we'll try that. And then, so that'll fix that problem there. We need a new D-tackle. And anything else we could find, I guess. Frederick, I mean, I feel pretty good. And Brian Cook's some star dev. So all in all, this looks pretty solid. But let's go see what impactful free agent there is to sign in free agency. And we'll take whatever we can find. If it's the best player available in free agency, we'll give them a big offer. So there is Jalen Carter out here, but instead I'm going to offer Lee McNeil from the Lions an offer, but instead I'm going to offer Lee McNeil from the Lions an offer, who's just going to be a little bit cheaper. Buckner's older, but Lee McNeil is one of those guys at 20 years old that's like, you know, probably fits our timeline pretty good. So that's going to be the one addition we make through free agency. The rest will come through the draft. And yeah, so now we need to basically go this draft addressing offense, because I feel like we did a lot of upgrading on defense. And I think we have a starter pretty much everywhere. So just like last year was an all defensive draft, this year it'll more than likely be all offense with a tight end, addressing the right side of the offensive line, maybe a third wide receiver. We could find one, but yeah, so let's go see what we can get. So in the first round, I'm going to be taking Weston Davis out of LSU to be that blind side, or it's not blind side protector, but right side offensive lineman, Weston Davis. Welcome to the Bengals. Orlando Brown, I'm pretty sure, is still over on the left side. So we have that. And then obviously we need to replace Mike Gesicki. So trade Des Green here in the second round is just making a little too much sense here. 24 in true value, got him at 49. So he's going to be the Gesicki replacement. Obviously, you needed to figure that out. And then I'm looking to take a right guard because we have not really been able to address that. So we should be able to get a guard here. And I'm seeing one on the board with Marquis Anderson. Probably where we go with, unless I don't like what I'm seeing. But he looks decent enough that he should be better than what we have. So welcome to the Bengals. 93 in true value, B- pick, so I'll take it. Only gonna be normal dev, but still gonna be necessary to have to address those problems we had. And then in round 4, if we could walk away with a wide receiver, that'd be pretty ideal, but I don't know if we'll get one. I mean, even if we can't, it's fine. We have Mylan Graham out of Notre Dame, 6'1", playmaker. F-catcher traffic. I was about to say, the only thing that's saving you is elite speed, and you didn't have that. So what about Cam Vaughn out of Miami? Lacks discipline. He has solid speed, so I don't know if I really like anything here. So really probably can't go wrong with anything we're about to draft here. None of these guys are going to be anything great, so we probably could just settle on drafting whatever we see. So I'm just going to go Xavier McLeod. This probably isn't going to be that good of a pick, but Georgia D-tackle, usually those guys are pretty good. So welcome to the team, and yeah, that'll be where we end this draft. And hopefully year number 3, we can make the freaking playoffs, man. It's been a struggle fest to get there, and I'm a little surprised using the Bengals that it has been that way. So 74 overall right tackle, 76 tight end, and 73 right guard. So yeah, and then everything else was 67 or 69 and lower. So nothing too significant here, but still, we addressed kind of what we needed to address with the right side of the offensive line, and a new tight end to replace Gesicki with him being gone as well. We're an 85 overall with an 85 offense, 87 defense. Kind of funny and ironic that defense is our strong suit right now, which has not been the Bengals problem or been the Bengals thing lately, obviously, but yeah, here's what we got going on. So offensive line is just decent. It's nothing spectacular by any means. I'm going to change this playbook to Buffalo since we're going to go back to a 4-3 and just hope and pray that, you know, if I can find... there it was. I'm going to say I swore we on it. But yeah, we'll leave Bengals playbook because obviously this gets the ball to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins like we want. And our tight end, who should be a welcome addition as well. We're going to be going back to a 4-3. Boy Mafe, Jackson, Cook, KJ Bolden, Demetrius Knight, Boo Carter, Quay Rousseau. Is it Boo Carter or is it Barrett Carter? I always forget. It's Barrett Carter. My bad. So Barrett Carter. I think there's a Boo Carter in the league somewhere as well, or maybe I'm confusing with somebody else. But regardless, Dax Hill, DJ Turner, Frederick. So yeah, there's plenty of talent on this defense, plenty of talent on offense. So hopefully year number 3 is the year that we can finally crack the damn playoffs. Can't believe it's taken us this long to make it to the playoffs with the Bengals of all teams. And at the end of the season, we finished up at 11-6 and finally made the damn playoffs. It took some time, but we got there. We're the 3rd seed. We did not win the division, or no, we did win the division. So the Ravens are the 7th seed. So, okay. Yeah, finally made it here. But we are going to be playing the Bills, which obviously will not be easy. We ran their defensive playbook. Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow both dominated on offense, which is not surprising. Our offense was ranked 1st in NFL on top of that. So what you'd expect out of Bengals playbook, like I said, defensively 24th in NFL. So 44-11 from Joe Burrow, 7 touchdowns and 594 yards from Chase Brown. Jamar Chase with 25 touchdowns and 1,700 yards. If you had him in fantasy, you'd be freaking ecstatic. And then Eugene Wilson had a really good season in that slot. Green with 696 yards and T. Higgins with 1,108 touchdowns as well. Sacks-wise, Dexter Lawrence enjoyed his best season on a contract year, so he's going to get paid 16 sacks, 8 from Kenyatta Jackson Jr., someone we drafted, and obviously Lee McNeil was brought in through free agency with 6.5 as well. Interceptions, 2 from Dax Hill, 2 from Turner, 1 from Knight, 1 from Barrett Carter, and 1 from TJ Daugherty. And then obviously the biggest thing is there any injuries to report for either side? So our left guard is out and their free safety is out. Obviously Josh Allen and the Bills will not be an easy matchup, but we're hopefully prepared for the matchup, and we shall see if we can take them out in a primetime game at home. finally made the playoffs, so hopefully we can take advantage of being here. But the Bills obviously will not be an easy matchup whatsoever, so let's see how it goes. So here we are at night, Cincinnati, Ohio. Bills coming to town. Gonna be a tough matchup, and they're up 3-0 to start things off. But thankfully, we matched their field goal. Would have loved a touchdown instead, but they're up 10-3. Our offense ranked pretty well in the regular season, so hopefully it translates. But right now we're down 17-3 and only put up 3 points in the first half. But there is a second half remaining, and we will score here. Can we get a stop? We do. Can we go tie it up? Not quite. What about now? Go tie it up, Joe. Okay, I'm going to do it instead. So we're at our own 3-yard line. 7 minutes and 58 seconds left, and we are in kind of a big hole right now. Actually, not too big of a hole, but, you know, buried at our own 3-yard line is obviously never fun. So let's try to get out of here, and we are going to pick up, you know, some space, get up and make it a 2nd and 1. Should make things a little bit easier. And now we're going to go to tight end attack, and let's see if our fast tight end, or maybe we can even go to Jamar Chase on this guy. And nope, I didn't even get an animation for Jamar Chase. Okay, that was on Maxwell Hairston. It was worth a shot. Didn't pay off, though. All right, let's just try to pick up a first down. I mean, this is probably it's not 4 down. It shouldn't be 4 down territory, but that doesn't even matter because we got the first down. All right, let's keep going. No huddle here. I want to keep going, keep this pace up. I want to keep them on their toes. I want to eventually catch them lacking, and I want them to press cover Jamar Chase. Or, you know, Eugene Wilson on the outside. I mean, maybe. Oh, my gosh, they left him wide open. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. There we go. I was about to say, I didn't think that was going to go through, but we're going to tie it. And that should be exactly what we needed. So, tied game now. We needed to get back in the game. We did. We get a stop at midfield, 4th down fumble, and we're up 24-17, but they tied up with 1:13. Okay, so now what we need to do now is just get this team in field goal range. We don't have Evan McPherson anymore. We didn't re-sign him, so don't know who our kicker is, but it should be somebody decent, I would assume. And oh my gosh, great blocks downfield. Oh my Lord, no way are we gone. No, forget about a field goal. We're just going to take it down and go up 7 with a big run from Chase Brown. Just need my defense to stop them. And they do. Let's freaking go, man. 31-24. Chase Brown just walks it off for us just like that. Did not expect that big run, but once we were into the right side and T. Higgins had that nasty block, I was like, wait a minute. This could go. And it certainly did. So I cannot see what his rushing yards looked like. But Josh Allen had 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, 2 touchdowns, and no picks from Joe Burrow. He had a touchdown, 118 yards, obviously. And obviously that big play was the reason why he had so many yards in this one. Even though 118 is not anything crazy or anything. But Eugene Wilson had that big play, 92 yards in the day. Jamar Chase had a touchdown. T. Higgins didn't do too much. But all in all, we got out of here and we beat the Bills, which is good. And Dexter Lawrence had 2 sacks. Again, having a really good season. He's going to get paid. But all right, let's get to the divisional. We've crawled our way out of wild card weekend against the Bills. So hopefully it gets easier from here because obviously the Bills are usually really tough. This time we have the Denver Broncos and we're back at home again. This time it's not going to be a nighttime pride time game, but it is the playoffs still, so a big game nonetheless. So start off with possession. Let's get off to a fast start. We do not, but neither did they. And they are going to draw first blood 7-0. Obviously, Broncos defense is usually really good, but thankfully we break out there and finally put some points on the board. And now we're up 10-7. Defense is playing really well so far too, so got to give them credit. We missed the extra point. We're up 16-7 so far. That's going to make 7-24. They're going to try to get back in it, but our defense has been extremely great in this one, and we're up 7-31. There we go. We got a finally comfortable playoff win here. Obviously, the Bills gave us a little bit of a heartache there, but 31-15, we're going to take down the Broncos. That is awesome. So let's go see what the stats look like. I didn't even have to jump in this one either, so it's even better feeling. But 212 yards, a touchdown from Bo Nix, and then Joe Burrow had 296 yards, 3 touchdowns. Chase Brown had 73 yards, which isn't too bad. And then Jamar Chase, 89 yards, 86 from T. Higgins. And then Green also at 67, and Theo Johnson is the Broncos, I guess, tight end. And then defensively, sacks-wise, 3 from Lake McNeil. So our D tackles have been phenomenal in these playoffs, which is great. Jackson was great. Boy Mafia was great. So we got after Bo Nix quite a bit in this game. So that's awesome. No picks, though. All right, let's go ahead and get to the AFC Championship game. Obviously, this one was an easy one. Let's see if it's that easy in the next one as well. But now we get to go on the road for the first time in these playoffs as we head out to Gillette Stadium to play the Patriots. So obviously, Drake May and the Patriots should be a tough one here, but nothing we can't handle. So let's see how it goes. And we finally got off to a fast start in one of these games. We're up 7-0 and we're up 14-0. So far, so good. Got to keep the foot on the pedal, though. It's a long game. Plenty of time left. And we're going to go up 21-0. The Patriots have no answer for us so far. In fact, our defense is shutting them out. And it's 28-0. Can we pile it on even further? What about now? 35? Nope, 31. We'll take it. 31-0. They have not scored in a playoff game, and they made it all the way to the AFC Championship game. Can you imagine your team making it all the way to the AFC Championship game and losing 31-0? That'd be just freaking insane. But I feel like that's probably happened at some point, I would assume. But 31-0. Holy moly. I don't even know if there was any interceptions on our side. Let's see if there was. It looked like it was just punts. Drake May had 0 touchdowns, 233 yards, 4 touchdowns from Joe Burrow, no picks at all. So, I mean, it's not like Drake May turned the ball over to us a lot. They just simply couldn't move the football. Awesome, man. Holy moly. 88 yards from our tight end, 77 from Eugene Wilson, 66 from Kyle Williams. Didn't matter. We should have got a hella sacks on him, I assume. 3.5 from Boy Mafe. Just fantastic. Did we force any fumbles? Quay Russoff forced 1. Okay, that makes sense. And bunch of sacks. But yeah, another smooth victory. And we have punched our ticket to the Super Bowl for the first time since what, Joe Burrow's second season, I think it was his sophomore season where they made it. So now it is time to get there and this time win this thing. We'll go see what the matchup is. I have no idea who it's going to be. And so far we've been healthy as well. No injuries report. So if we can keep that up, go in the play, our Super Bowl healthy, should be able to win because we've been hot the last 2 games. So here we are in the Super Bowl. We get to play an 8-9 Detroit Lions team. Obviously, records are out the window when you're in the playoffs. I don't think they kept Jahmyr Gibbs either. He always leaves them in free agency in Madden here. So, yeah. Let's see how this is going to go. I mean, with them 8-9, it gives me a lot of confidence we can come out here and win this thing. But again, records don't matter. So it's 0-0 so far. But we will finally put up some points here, 7-0. And can we go 14-0 or 10-0? We'll take it. Okay, they do get a turnover or something, and they got up a field goal off of it. They could definitely get back in this game so far, and they are back in it, just like that, because we've not been able to do anything. And the Lions will take the 13-10 lead. Can we go take the lead back here? Nope. Okay, so it's 10-13. We're in a very similar boat to the Bills game. We were kind of buried deep here, and I was able to throw a dot to Eugene Wilson, I believe. So let's try to dig ourselves out of this one, and let's start with a run to Chase Brown. And yeah, this didn't go very far at all. But one thing about the Lions, I believe they love to run man coverage, so I really dare them to do that. So let's try to come out here and dare them to do that and get like Jamar Chase and T Higgins on these go routes and see. So yeah, it looks like they're gonna press up. And like I said, if they want to do that, they're by all means do that. But we're gonna dot them out with Jamar Chase, and he's gone. He's gone. Branch ain't catching him either. So that's what we needed. And if you want to run man against us, you're going to pay for it. And just like that, we're going to take the lead back. Very easy. Jamar Chase gets us all the way down there. Just threw that up the seam, and that was pretty easy. So 3 minutes left in this one, and I'm going to make sure the ball doesn't go back to Detroit. In fact, we want to do this again. You want to let Eugene Wilson just fly downfield, or does Y have a... Oh, I didn't get that off in time. It was Wilson I was throwing to there, though. Okay, I was going to try something, and they did blitz, so they did get there technically. I didn't get the ball off, but all right, so we got our backup running back in, and Jack Campbell almost gets back there, but not quite. All right, so 3rd and 5. The Lions call their first timeout. Byron Washington need a first down here, so we're going to run some stick and nod, and I am tempted to look at T. Higgins on the outside if Kirby Joseph doesn't help, but he does. And instead, we'll throw it up to Wilson, and this should be dropped in the bucket. And just like that, that should end this one. Keith Abney, I believe, on Detroit was not able to keep up with them. Man coverage can't do it. Eugene Wilson's been able to burn man coverage in these playoffs, but they get up a field goal, or I think they already had one. And yeah, never mind. So they didn't get anything up. 24-13, we beat their Jared Goff Lions, and we will win a Super Bowl for the Bengals. So I hope you guys did enjoy this one. It was a little rough to start things off with. 6-11, 10-7, missed playoffs twice, which is a little concerning, but we got there, and this is where I leave it. So thank y'all for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace.